All right, welcome back. I'm a little early today, so let's get started a little early. Now, I'm going to deal with multiple subjects as always, but I want the highlight of this stream to be about this article and whoever this writer is. There's always writers that come out of the woodworks. They come out of nowhere. And suddenly they have deals and partnerships with major media outlets, sometimes lower level media outlets. And they are pro dog. They are pro pitbull. As we all know, Matt Walsh is against pit bulls. He's a open pit bull critic, well known for being a critic of bully breeds. And he recently made a tweet saying that there is no logical argument against banning pit bulls, as we all know. So this guy took it upon himself to object. You know how so many dog lovers, they all think they have all the answers. This is especially true with pit bull lovers. Pit bull lovers thinks that nobody in the world knows pit bulls like they do, right? They have the truth. So he made this tweet. When did he make this? Not even a day ago, I don't think. Not even 24 hours ago. So why is Matt Walsh wrong for demanding a ban on pit bulls? Read my recent article on Fee Online for a few objections. And let me point out too, Fee Online, this video is directed to you too, because you are the media outlet who published this crazy, sick, demonic article. Now, he says that in this article, he objects to the idea of banning pit bulls, but he uses Matt Walsh and tries to act like he's just responding to Matt Walsh and it's all about Matt Walsh. No. This is the pit bull loving world attempting to defend these creatures because they're in the hot seat right now. All bully breeds all across the world are in the hot seat. And that's why they're trying to divert people's attention by pointing out XL bullies. This whole XL bully facade is their way of trying to differentiate between bully breeds and project this idea that only certain types of bully breeds are dangerous. So they forcibly put XL bully in your face and repeat it over and over and over. No, nutters. That's not going to work either. Anyway, this guy writes an article responding to Matt Walsh. So he's butthurt about Matt Walsh. And, you know, I always appreciate when anybody says anything against dogs, especially when they have a large platform. Matt Walsh goes in on pit bulls, good. I could disagree with him and anybody else on everything else. You say anything against dogs or pit bulls, I'm going to be happy. Okay, I can agree to that or with that. But this is the writer of this article. He has put himself out there. I did not put him out there. I'm not exposing anyone's personal information or nonsense like that. This is a journalist who's made public a very dangerous article. Okay, very dangerous. Benjamin Seevers. He's a Mrs. Institute fellow, and holds a BA in economics from Grove City College. He will begin his PhD in economics at West Virginia University 2023. His research interests include private governance, public policy, and libertarian ethics. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Check out his recent articles, though. Why Matt Walsh is wrong to call for a pit bull ban. And here recently he wrote, pet alligator bans are unnecessary and reckless. Pet alligators? So I saw this and I'm like, man, this guy sounds a little disturbed. I looked at the articles. I'm like, man, these are some sick reads. These articles that this guy wrote is disturbing to me, very disturbing. And it almost sounds like something that a Satanist would write. I kid you not. Okay? Now he's butthurt, and he goes over how butthurt he is. That's how he starts his article. Oh, Matt Walsh said something about pit bulls, and I'm butthurt. And he shares Matt Walsh's tweet, or the tweet that he's responding to. And all Walsh did was point out that, yes, pit bulls kill, they maul at a disproportionate rate. We all know that. It's very easy to understand why pit bulls should be banned. They make up a small percentage of the total dog population, and yet make up the majority of not only fatalities, but disfigurements. The people who need reconstructive surgery, most of those people were attacked by pit bulls / bully breeds. Most of them. So there's no denying that. There's no arguing against that. Numbers don't lie. And numbers are bulletproof. His whole shtick with this article is to say, no, your argument isn't bulletproof. Because in the tweet, Matt Walsh said that the argument against pit bulls is bulletproof. As we all know, it is. But let's continue. Then this article started to get very, very sick. Sick. Now look at this section. Matt Walsh pointed out that pit bulls unfairly force neighbors to assume risk, which is very true. But then he said that this is puzzling. He said, doing something on your own property that carries a risk is not a trespass. In fact, we do many things that carry risks for others in our own homes, such as operating gas-powered ovens. Listen to that. Listen to that. You tell me that is not lunacy. He compared owning a pit bull to owning a gas stove. Now listen, Benjamin. If a gas stove was able to run out of the home and run onto my property and attack me, I'd say they need to be banned too. Same goes for any other object you got inside your home. If it develops a brain of its own and comes over and attacks me, yeah, ban it too. And it's sad that anybody had to point that out for you, buddy. You really compared a pit bull to a stove? This really lets you know that they are on their last breath. They're on their deathbed. So they're just throwing anything out there to see what sticks. Yes, there's no argument. And that's why, look at how long the paragraph is where he's trying to respond to this. It's not that complicated. If you got this much to say, it's because you're trying to con someone. But it's very sick when you read it. Okay, so he compares a pit bull to a gas-powered oven. He says owning a gun also carries a risk that it might be discovered and used by a child. Or stop it. There's never been a gun that traveled through a home, traveled across the street, took aim on its own, and pulled its own trigger. So stop. There's nothing in society available for you to compare to pit bulls. So stop. But he's trying his hardest. Oh, but risk alone is not grounds for intervention. Really? Plenty of people die in car crashes. There you go again with that unbelievably brainless argument comparing pit bulls to cars. That argument is so tired and washed up, you really don't need to go into it. But because there are a bunch of pit bull lovers who follow the channel, I'll just briefly touch on how ridiculous that is just for them. We need cars, and when we drive them, the intent is not to hurt people. And cars do not have a brain of their own. Moving on. Just so what makes an activity unfair? What does it mean to unfairly force all of your neighbors to assume risk? Walsh leaves the definition of fairness ambiguous. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. The sad part is, and the real question is, why do you need somebody to explain this to you? You don't need nobody to explain this to you. What makes owning a pit bull unfair to neighbors? That only reveals that you are either ignorant of how many neighbors get attacked, or you're purposely ignoring it. But people are always getting attacked by dogs belonging to their neighbors. That, I would say, is about 50% of all attacks. Every time we turn around, somebody's being attacked, and it comes out, it was a neighbor's dog. It was a neighbor's dog. These dogs can manipulate restraints and barriers. They can dig under fences, jump over fences, run straight through glass doors or screen doors. These are powerful predators. There's no way to own them responsibly. So if you own one, you're putting your neighbors at risk, especially you, buddy. I can look at you and tell you ain't but about 140 pounds. There's some dogs that can just drag you easily. And then you will be, at that point, just another useless pit nutter failing to stop a dog attacking that's mauling and mutilating a victim. And you're standing there fumbling, falling, tripping. No, Rover, stop. While somebody's getting ripped apart. All because you wanted to be some magic dog owner who think you got power and control over the thing's brain, knowing you don't even understand fully the brain of a dog. But he needs somebody to explain to him why it's unfair to your neighbors. Here recently on a live stream, I talked about how I would freak out. I would be real paranoid if I was a dog owner where I live in my area, because there's kids all around here. I would not ask anyone or pretend to be oblivious as to why I am a threat to everyone around me. That reality would slap me in the face. Why I'm a threat to everyone around me, to my neighbors. You really gotta be a very sick, blind, or ignorant person to ask a question like that. And really, that makes you come off as disingenuous. And most people will probably just dismiss everything else you have to say at this point, because it shows you're just not a genuine person. This sounds crazy. Okay. He says, there is no fairness standard, only justice, which is defined. Okay, whatever. Now he's going on to give a lecture. So ridiculous. This second section. Maybe I want a dangerous dog. And here he's talking about using them for protection. He said a means of deterrence or self-defense, and using dogs for that purpose is nothing new. I would expect something like this to come from a little puny, probably scared of every other man you walk past, just terrified of the whole world. You probably scared listening to this video right now. Oh, his voice is so deep. Stop being so cowardly, man. What type of coward is so scared of other men that they're willing to risk their own life to scare them? You're willing to get ripped apart by an XL bully, your own self, just so you can intimidate bigger men. That is pathetic. Moving on. I'm surprised I haven't made a video about that yet. I've been talking about it for a long time. People have been getting at me like, when you gonna do a video about that? These little skinny, terrified, scared little men always need a dog. I need a dog. I need a dog. I see some of these jokers. I walk by them sometimes all the time, like in an apartment complex where it's just me and them, and you can see they get all nervous. Calm down, little dude. Ain't nobody thinking about beating y'all up. Stop walking around scared all the time. Lord. Yeah, taking a walk around his neighborhood will yield at least one house that has a beware of dog sign. Now remember, this is a section that he titled, Maybe I Want a Dangerous Dog. And he's talking about how a criminal will be deterred if you got a pit bull. Okay, now as we all know, that is not a guaranteed way to protect your home, because all a stranger would have to do is walk past your house a few times and feed it. Walk past your house. So let's establish that using these things for protection is inefficient as well, since that's your argument. Walk by, you feed the dog a few times, and then eventually when it sees you, it's not going to bark. That way, when it's time to break into the home, let's toss it some food and go about your business. Now, let's continue with this crazy, sick article here. He said he's arguing in favor of using pit bulls for protection too, because he says, it doesn't make sense to get a lower quality dog. This guy it almost sounds sadistic, this article. Crazy that it's even, allowed to be published. To prohibit seekers of guard dogs from buying pit bulls, blah, blah, blah. So he's bobbling. Look at this. What will people alternate into if pit bulls are banned? People may choose an alternative breed that demonstrate, no. See, now you hear this a lot from pit bull advocates. This is one of the first things they say. It's their favorite go-to, is that, hey, if you ban pit bulls, people will just turn to another dog to use for fighting. No. What they're saying when they say that is that people will turn to another bully breed. They will turn to another bully breed. That's why the solution has always been to remove bully breeds. Y'all focusing on one type of bully breed, that's part of your loophole. All right, continuing on. He said, or they might begin breeding a dog that approximates the strength of, yeah, all the more reason why they all should be banned. That way there's no dogs for you to breed. Okay? Now look at this. Can you believe this? I mean, when I first read this, I said, finally. You know, there's a part of me that said, finally, they admit it. He has a section titled, Pit Bull Attacks Do Not Justify Bans. Pit Bull attacks do not justify bans. He said, ultimately, as unfortunate as bites and deaths are, they do not justify bans. Owning a pit bull does not necessarily violate private property, so there's no reason to pass a ban. Instead, people should be allowed to kill what? Without legal obstacle, pit bulls that trespass on property and or attack. So he's saying that, no, you shouldn't ban pit bulls. You should just allow people to shoot them if they trespass and try to attack you. Dude, we're already allowed to do that without legal punishment. We are within our rights to shoot an attacking dog. We don't need new laws for that. That's the current law, pretty much in every state. If any of you in your state here in the United States, if you do not have that law in your state, please let us know in the chat room. Because as far as I'm aware, in every state, you are permitted by law to shoot an attacking dog, a dog that's actively in attack mode or it's charging at you. Here in Ohio, it says that if it's charging at you aggressively, you're allowed to shoot it. But look at what else he wrote. He said, essentially, when pit bulls act aggressively, the law should not protect them. Furthermore, when a pit bull does attack or kill, the victim or the family of the victim should be allowed to extract compensation from the pit bull's owners. Since we live in an imperfect world, there will be people bitten and killed by pit bulls. So we should just accept pit bulls in the neighborhood because this world is imperfect anyways. So since this is not a perfect world, why don't we also go bring African lions, Asian tigers? Why not legalize them and flood our communities with them as well? It's an imperfect world. Who cares how many people they kill and mutilate? The world isn't perfect anyways. So you might as well further endanger yourself, right? Some of you go jump off a bridge. Maybe some other people should, jump off a building. Go play in traffic. It's an imperfect world anyway. What is this? Are you seriously trying to convince? This is an honest attempt by this writer to sound intelligent. This is amazing to me. I've heard pit bull advocates say stuff like this, make this same type of argument before. But they were usually like very low IQ people. This guy is working on his PhD and saying it. Didn't I tell y'all, don't matter what your education level is. If you defend dogs in society, you're going to sound insane. You're going to sound insane. Pit bulls should be legal. And he, from his own mouth, you'll just be compensated if it attacks you. So you get attacked by your neighbor's pit bull, and then you wander down to the courthouse downtown with one leg one arm, half a face. You in a wheelchair, but at least you're getting compensation, right? Or say it's your child. We're just supposed to accept that, huh? Oh, it's deadly dogs outside. Oh, don't worry. If my child gets attacked, I'll just file a lawsuit. No, dude. We want safe neighborhoods. And our neighborhoods can't be safe with owners of pit bulls in it. Owners of large, vicious dogs, period. If we're talking about safety, and when we're talking about safety, listen, that's all dogs. Even the small ones. Because kids play outside too, and those small dogs can disfigure and kill kids. Small dogs are still an enemy to human beings and can still disfigure and kill them. Especially if it's a pack of small dogs. It can be a pack of small dogs. They've killed adults before. Look it up. There have been adults killed by multiple small dogs. So ban them too. And he's also saying that if you are attacked, just cross your fingers and hope that you don't die. And if you do die, oh well, your family can be compensated. How this sounds insane. Wow. And he finishes saying, since we live in an imperfect world, there will be people bitten and killed by pit bulls, but there are no other appropriate responses that are consistent with justice. And that's the end of his article. He ends it saying, so no, Matt Walsh, the argument against owning pit bulls is not bulletproof. So after this very sickening, pathetic article, he ends it being arrogant, as if he just dropped the mic. Said, no, Matt Walsh, your argument isn't bulletproof. Bloop. Get out of here, dude. Oh my goodness, bro. This is one of the worst. And listen, this is all I do is read pro-dog articles. This one of the worst I've ever read. Easily one of the worst. Okay, and more specifically, Matt Walsh said there's no sane argument against banning pit, and there isn't. And honestly, Matt Walsh doesn't go deep enough. I've had to elaborate with him as well. So there you go, buddy. I've shared this with you. If you have any objections to my objections, feel free to speak in the chat room or the comment section of this video. This was a horrible, ridiculous, sickening article that you just wrote. Hope you're proud of yourself. Now let's get into some of the news about these beasts that this guy was just defending and wrote about as if they're some type of angels. Pit bulls prompt police calls. Dogs in the news. Officers investigated multiple calls involving pit bulls and other dogs. Around 10 a.m., caller reported a high man pushing a shopping cart on Vinton Avenue accompanied by an unleashed pit bull. Officers arrived on the scene. They spoke to a man and determined he was not intoxicated. However, he had to let go of, I'm not going to, well, maybe I will. Let's check it out. No, thank you. Man, why would I pay to read? I'm not about to pay to read something that you write. Read no article. Y'all not writing magic. What in the world is these people talking about? And boy, that was like $20 a month to read something that you write. Arizona Humane Society offering free adoptions for pit bulls over a year old. Now, I wanted to save this and touch on this because isn't this crazy? If it's over a year old, you can take it for free. Y'all know why they're doing that, right? Can you believe that? Because at a year old, the dog is well past the age where it should be socialized, according to them. So they're saying, if you're willing to take that risk, acquire a dog beyond, what is it, like 6 to 12 weeks or something like that, and you can just have it for free. And it's only for pit bulls. So basically they're saying, hey, if you're dumb enough, if you're daredevil enough to go out and get a pit bull, to acquire a pit bull beyond a year old, you may as well have it for free if you're that dumb. So there you go, people of Phoenix. Free adoptions for pit bull terriers. Notice how they don't have any problem identifying pit bull terriers when they want to get rid of them, when they're trying to adopt them out, when they're trying to acquire them. When it's time to have a dog fight or to intimidate, they know what pit bulls look like then. Oh my goodness, moving on. People, I was not able to save as many stories as I wanted to because there were so many that I felt needed to be touched on. National Pit Bull Awareness Month. A misunderstood breed. Oh. And then they share a photo. Oh, look at that. A sweet child predator. Oh, look at that bloodthirsty, demonic infant killer. Oh. Puppies born, blah, blah, blah. This is pathetic. We don't need to be made aware of nothing. You know who need to be made aware of something? You pit bull lovers. Y'all the only ones who need awareness because you're oblivious to too many facts and too much information. And according to one of these workers, 51% of pit bulls in the shelter die there. And they say it's because they're pit bulls. Well, why is that? I mean, stop it. Stop all this complaining about how bully breeds and pit bulls are flooding your shelters. How you're spilling over and it's just full of bully breeds. This is not the first time we've seen this where they say, hey, get a bully breed, get a pit bull. Stop it. Doesn't that tell you that they carry an increased risk? United States and the UK, and maybe Australia as well, are the biggest dog-loving nations on the planet. You're talking about here in the United States, man, dog nuttery is unbelievable here. This is a dog-loving country. If your shelters are overflowing with a breed of dog that only make up some 6-10% of the total dog population, that tells you right there they carry an increased risk. Not even dog lovers want them. And the majority of people in this country love dogs. The majority. They say what? Dog owners are some 60-65% of American homes. So yeah, y'all need to be aware that these things have actual statistics that argue against their presence in society. That's what y'all need to be aware of. Y'all need to be aware of the statistics because none of you seem to be aware of it. And if you are, you don't seem to understand it. Woman mauled by her own bully dog. There is still development with this story. I believe I saw some new details to this. 60-year-old woman Now they're saying she was 60 years old. Before they were saying she was in her 60s. I guess it was an XL bully. Multiple injuries in the back, not life-threatening. The dog escaped from the property following the attack and was found by officers. It had been secured to a post in the car park of the local primary school. Pupils and teachers were inside. Police contacted multiple due to the threat. And with the permission of the owner, the dog was destroyed. Now, how deep is that? With the permission of the owner? Really? How many times does this happen? We've never talked about these people who euthanize their dog or have their dogs put down for aggression. What happened in those situations? Isn't that a story? A relevant story? Each one of them. I thought you knew your dog so well. I thought it was so loving. Why do you have to go scrub your social media now? You know what I mean? Suddenly, they don't know their own dog anymore. But to let you know, these things are just as brainless and dysfunctional. Officers were faced with a difficult situation when they arrived at the scene. A woman being viciously attacked by her dog and was very clearly injured and in some pain. And that's typical of bully breeds. They don't stop the attack. I shared that disturbing video of Ian Price being speaking of Ian Price. Let's talk about Ian Price for a minute. I don't think I've ever dealt with the Ian Price case. It was a very disturbing video. One of the most disturbing videos I've ever seen in my life. Where were the young people? Is my question. Why is it that everybody that was trying to help Ian Price looked like they're about 80 years old? Hunched over, barely able to move. Somebody had a trash can, one of them wheelbarrows, bumping it into the dog, which probably made it more excited. That is horrible footage. Viewer discretion advised. I shared it in the community section of this channel. But I don't know how many of y'all know the details of this story. Apparently, he stepped into the yard to protect his mother. His elderly mother. But from what I understand, aren't guns illegal in the UK? From what I understand, they're not even allowed to have guns there. So, if that's the case and nobody has a gun, don't acquire a pit bull. I just don't understand how people trust these things that much. Why would you? When you hear about all these attacks, this happening in your own country. Oh, if it happens, it happens. That has to be how they're thinking. Oh, if it happens, it happens. Man. But this was horrible. He stepped in like, why? What in the world? What do y'all have for protection? If you don't have guns, like, can you have BB guns? My goodness, is BB guns legal in the UK? I'm about to look it up right now. People, bear with. BB guns, please be legal. BB guns. Yes, they are legal. Please, all my people in the UK, please, I'm pleading to you, all the crusaders, go out and get a BB gun, please. If you can get a semi-automatic BB gun, even better. Even better. BB guns can be very, very effective. They inflict very fast, painful injuries. I believe they can be very effective. Now, you know, with these bully breeds, you might have to shoot them multiple times. Okay, you might have to be strategic with how you aim. And I tell you what, if you find yourself in a situation like that, point that BB gun at its anus. Point the nozzle at its anus and fire. Okay? That will put a stop to that attack. And BB guns can pierce a dog's skin. If you look online, you'll find cases where dogs had been shot by BB guns. Shot by BB. And look at this, man. I didn't even know this. Look at these BB guns. I didn't even know that. Made them like rifles. Okay. So get y'all BB gun. Ian Price could have, you know, set back at the edge of the yard and fired a few shots, scared them off, or something, neutralized them or something. Don't walk up on not even one bully breed, man. This idea of treating dogs, and there's this culture that says you're not supposed to be afraid of dogs or worried about dogs. Now, granted, don't run. Running is the last thing you should do. But you don't treat them like they're harmless either. And if you're going to walk up on them, you better be very well prepared. Don't go empty-handed. And wow, they couldn't even stop that attack. Couldn't even stop it. Now you tell me these things ain't the embodiment of demons. Demons jump into these things. Demons manifest themselves in the flesh through bully breeds and all other dogs. Through dogs, the mutant dogs. Not the wolves, not the wild dogs, you know, the natural animals. No, I'm not talking about them. No, demons jump into the bodies of these mutants. And you can see it all in their hideous faces. Nothing but pure evil. Pure, unadulterated evil. Okay? Horrible, horrible stuff. What else is going on in the news? A lot of crazy stuff. They're always mirroring stuff from Dog Time. The list of dog breeds banned in the UK. I wanted to take a gander at this too, because this is ridiculous, man. Because I just showed on 2 different live streams the full list of bully breeds. And I don't even think that list was complete. But they're dead set on brainwashing the public. Y'all remember I just showed another article that surfaced just like this, where they're trying to list all the bully breeds. They're really trying to hammer this into people's psyche. You know, that there's a small number of bully breeds. No. And the question is, why are only these 4 banned? And haven't the banning of these proven that you need to ban all of the bully breeds at the very least? You don't just ban a certain... And that's the failure of this XL bully fiasco. Oh, we have a problem with dog attacks? Let's ban 1 more bully breed. As if the banning of the first 4 didn't teach you that it don't work. You got to get rid of all of them. Don't tell me bans don't work. You show me an area where dogs don't exist, I'll show you an area where people don't deal with dog attacks. So stop. Dog breed bans have always been a divisive topic. Yeah, who cares? Currently, the UK's Dangerous Dog Act of 91 has led to the ban of 4 dog breeds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Japanese soy. So add to this list the Bully XL. And you know what's funny? Most people never even heard of this dog right here. Look at this dog. I've made major charges against governments saying that they intentionally put in a failed ban. Are y'all mean to tell me that y'all decided to ban this, but legalize all those other bully breeds that you have over there, and that was supposed to be a serious attempt at safety? I mean, really, when most people look at dogs like this, they are not as intimidated. Because of the excess skin, it looks older, it looks elderly. Y'all are the ones who are always claiming that we don't like the way they look. You're always talking about how our problem with bully breeds is how they look. Well, look at how this one look. You trying to say people have a problem with how this dog looks, but don't have a problem with the bully breeds that you've legalized over there? Man, always asking a bunch of questions when I deal with these people. Why would they ban this? In the UK. This one too. And this one. Why is this banned? Now, I assume that there used to be a lot of these in the UK. So I don't know. I haven't done the history of dogs in the UK. Was there a time when these were the majority of the dogs in the UK? In my opinion, they randomly banned 4 dog breeds in a way to have the least amount of negative impact on bully breed lovers. That's what I believe they did. That's why they just banned the pit bull terrier and some obscure dog breeds. Japanese Tosa, Dogo Argentino, and a stop. Bully breed lovers looked at that ban list and said, yes. What are you talking about, man? They celebrated when they saw this pathetic ban list. They knew right away it wasn't a real ban. Okay? Y'all, they need help on how to construct a ban. Can anybody help them? UK struggling over there. Here in the US too. New dangerous dogs will replace the XL bully breed if they are banned, leading vets say. Criminals will just create a new dangerous status. They already have. They have several available. Stop with this. You could remove all the XL bullies right now, and they have alternatives right now. All you gotta do is go to a shelter. All kind of bully breeds in these shelters. I can't believe that there should be more people pointing this out. How ridiculous and such an obvious con this is. Obvious scam. Where these politicians just trying to project this idea that they care and that they're trying to do something. But they have to make it look like they're trying to do something, that they're trying to convince or increase public safety. And I strongly believe that it's in response to the anti-dog community. I believe we got something to do with this. Okay? I might not get that many views. Pitbull victim awareness might not get that many views. Chef, Animal and Control, or other content creators, we might not get that many views. But combined, we do. Okay? I mean, when you're talking about as a single voice, oh yes, we do. Now, when you include dogs bite, a lot of influence. When you include dog free, They are close to what, 55,000 subscribers. They remember Pitbull Awareness Reddit group. It has more subscribers than Dog Free, if I'm not mistaken, right? Tens of thousands. We're here. We got a voice. They hear us. They follow those boards. There have been several articles written about Dog Free, the Reddit group. There are several journalists who keep up. They hear us. They hear us. Okay? And this XL bully facade, I believe, is primarily in response to the information and things we're talking about. So, yeah, we know. And it's not like the XL bully is really going to be replaced. They're just going to use one of the other available mutts. But apparently, allegedly, people are turning the dogs over to be euthanized. From what some other articles, here it is. Britons have started handing in XL bullies to be put down. MPs told. Select committee hears vets and animal rehoming creatures could become inundated as owners seek to offload the dogs. Well, good. Now I can applaud that. You taking these things down to the shelters, saying, look, just put it down. It's dangerous, and it shouldn't be in anybody else's home. It shouldn't be in any home at all. Is this them coming to their senses and finally behaving like a humane individual rather than a satanic, demonically possessed lunatic? I hope so. I hope this is them thinking about the little boy next door riding the big wheel, the elderly woman going out to get her mail. I hope this just ain't you trying to keep your hands clean, not go to jail, not pay fine, and you just gonna go out and get another bully breed. I'm not gonna get my hopes up about it. So I'm requesting that it be put down. Bless you. Don't just relinquish it. As the owner, you got the power to euthanize it. Put them all down. Put them all down and let your kids live, you lunatics. You sick psychopaths. Unbelievable. And you know what's even more traumatic is that some of these youngsters, they keep up with anti-dog content. And you know what else they do? They go to Google and they Google dog attack child. And they see some gruesome images, and they realize this could happen to me at any moment. Any moment. You know what else? That might motivate them to try to be more buddy with the dog in their own home. And that itself might end up getting them attacked. The more time you spend with dogs, the more you're at risk of being attacked. That's why dog attacks increased during the COVID lockdown. Had nothing to do with these dumb dogs not being socialized. They were. Isn't that crazy too? How dog attacks went up during COVID lockdown. It couldn't have been because they were not well socialized then. They were attacking the very people that was supposed to be socializing it. The people it lived with. Pathetic, man. So good. Get them out of here. XL bully, which mauls its owner before racing into school car park and sparking panic, is a rescue dog which was recently adopted before it attacked. Now, this is one of the stories I was talking about when I said that this story is slowly developing. You're getting more details really with a different outlet. You get more details. But this one was published a few hours ago. So it came from a shelter. It's a rescue mutt. Now at these shelters, they give these dogs temperament tests. So what happened? What happened? What happened with that? This happens a lot, man. It passed the temperament test. Temperament tests are not reliable. They're worthless. But that's one of the things that pit bull advocates bring up when they want to argue that, these things are safe. And bring up temperament tests. Oh, they score better on the temperament test. Get adopted out, and they immediately attack somebody. A lot of times, the same day, not even 24 hours later. Yeah. Did I talk about that? I talked about that a dog that was stabbed to death. I think I talked about it with the members. And check this out. I don't know if this is American viewers or what, but they're saying that 3.5 thousand people are viewing this story right now. Hey, let me increase the size here. $2,000 viewing this right now. 1.5 viewing this right now. And this has to do with, it's titled, "Don't Forget Where Jews Were in 1940. Goad's pro-Palestine protester." So they're covering the Palestine-Jewish conflict, and they got less viewers than the dog content. So I say more and more people are, their attention is being brought to the dog problem. People are paying attention. So they're scurrying around trying to get out their propaganda, and it's not working. It's not working. People are tuning in to what we have to say. They want to tune in and listen to the everyday person, not some corporate funded media outlet journalists, low-key undercover nutter. A lot of times they're overt dog lovers. We don't want to hear no knowledge or information from them. We're not going to use nothing that they tell us. No advice from people who endanger themselves and their family every single day. Why should we trust that y'all even have a mind capable of giving safety advice? Stop it. Shout out to everybody able to join me on this Hump Day edition anti-dog rant for the morning. Hope y'all doing well and dog free as always. Haven't had to lay eyes on a hideous turd-faced mutant, and I hope you don't have to at all today. And I hope to see all of you back on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.